As the NBA Finals come to a close tonight, we're reminded of some of the great players of the past, the guys who helped pave the way for the likes of Kobe Bryant and Paul Pierce, the players that helped shape modern basketball into what we know it as today. Back in 1986, February of 1986, producers Joel Cohen and Tom Weinberg traveled down to Dallas during the NBA All-Star Weekend to shoot a piece on the NBA Legends game. And in the following segment, we're going to show you you're going to hear from the likes of NBA greats Nate Thurmond, Cazzie Russell, Pistol Pete Maravich, all sharing their memories about their glory days on the court. So please watch, enjoy, and thank you.
We had such happiness together. I can't believe it's gone forever. Till summer comes again. I hope that you remember when our love had just begun. I loved you yesterday, and yesterday's gone.
I always said that the one thing that really charged me up was to hear 15,000 people screaming Nate. And no matter what I do today, that won't happen. So the question is, the biggest high was in the NBA.
To be able to take over a game and be influential is a great feeling.
I don't think there's any substitute for that kind of high. I would like to think that the arena of politics, I was privileged to serve as a Senate doorkeeper for the state of Georgia. And I think that provided an era of splendor, of course, with that august body and emanating to some of the same kinds of highs in basketball.
But the feelings were good. You know, you would do something that was thrilling, and whether it was a pass or a shot or something of that nature, and people would come back. They would come back and they would really enjoy coming back to see you play and the team you're with and so forth like that. But it's so fleeting. Fame is so fleeting.
Woke up, fell out of bed, dragged a comb across my head. Found my way downstairs and drank a cup. And looking up, I noticed I was late.
This year is the first year that I've just kind of taken it easy, kind of laid back, and kind of reassess the direction I'd like to go.
A typical day is I start off by getting up, going to the exercise class, lift a few weights. Then I might have to take care of my business, which is doing some PR for the Warriors.
I run Christian basketball camps in the summertime. My main was in Clearwater, Florida. I'm one in Atlanta, Georgia, Kenner, Louisiana, probably Houston, Texas this year. And it's expanded.
I'm living in Pittsburgh right now, and I'm living off my annuities. And if I don't have to travel or go nowhere, I have enough money.
But currently, I serve as a director of special events for the National Scholarship Service for Negro Students. And of course, that's primarily a funding organization that have student interview college sessions in the 12 southern states.
Much like Solomon says, you know, the sun comes up in the east and goes down in the west. We all do the same things, very monotonous each day. What we do is that we do them differently. You see, when I played, you weren't supposed to have pizzazz. You weren't supposed to entertain. You weren't supposed to trick anybody. You weren't supposed, that was considered embarrassing people. I went into Philadelphia one year I played, back in the early 70s. They had a sign, it was 15 feet high and 30 feet long. It said, Pistol Pete, why do hot dogs cost 15 cents in Philly and $2 million in Atlanta? And that kind of summed up my career.
I feel good about what Cazzie has done. I feel good about myself physically and mentally. I feel great that I had an opportunity to do something that you enjoy. I got paid for it. I got a scholarship, got an education by way of it. So there are a lot of things that I think I could relate to young players. If you save 3 or 4, you know, you've given something back to the game that's been great for me.
I think the Globetrotters was probably the best experience I've ever had in my life because of the fact that you talk about education and learning a lot of things. And I traveled around the world twice. And I think if I went with the Globetrotters, I wouldn't able to have learned different languages, different cultural backgrounds, and just learn a lot about things that you read in the history books. I was in Moscow, I was in Leningrad, I was with the King and Queen of England, I met Khrushchev and all these type of things. And I think if I wouldn't consciously during the summertime think it's the summer, I think I'll take a trip to Europe. And I think now with the Globetrotters just going over there, it opened up a whole new avenue for me and now I know what they mean by being culturally deprived.
I played 14 years and was not fortunate enough to be on a winning team. A winning team, yes, but not a championship team. And sometimes another player will be traded in situations where he's on 4 or 5. It wasn't in the cards for me. I was close a couple of times. I really felt that there was nothing that I did that kept my teams away from the championship. I think it was some bad situations at times and then bad breaks at other times. But coming out of that without having the championship, the ultimate present to me was making the All-Star team, knowing that most centers are judged by championships.
I'm glad I don't need this pomp. I don't need all the worldliness that is out there anymore. I'm glad that God chose to save me out of that. See, that's it.
Oh, I get by with a little help from my friend. I get high with a little help from my friend. Gonna try with a little help from my friend.
The thing that I miss most about basketball is not the basketball itself, but the friendships, the friends, the people that I met, the guys that I'm associated with.
After you get out, friends are hard to come by, man. They're hard. Good friends. It's a lonely life being a professional athlete if you don't have a lot of friends. You're kind of set aside. The money you make, the people that you associate with, it's a certain group, it's a certain clique. It's a certain type of people that you associate with because of the field that you're in. But the friends I enjoy, the camaraderie, the togetherness that is now, it exists now between all the guys that are back for the Legends game. You know, like Oscar and Calvin and myself were out there shooting around earlier. I played against these guys. It's a great feeling.